Dozens of districts made the call early this week to close, affecting tens of thousands of students. That includes the Tucson Unified School District, which has more than 44,000 students. At a news conference, Superintendent Gabriel Trujillo said the district decided to cancel classes Thursday after more than half of its 3,200 teachers said they would not come to work.
We very clearly see thousands of employees operating within district procedures and protocol, using our ASOP attendance reporting hotline, using all appropriate time reporting procedures to take 1 day of sick or personal. And by doing that, they're honoring their contract.
Later, we asked him to explain the district's contingency plan and how a prolonged walkout could affect the rest of the school year.
I am fully aware of the extent to which that parents depend on our schools as a safe place for their kids. We have so many parents in so many different places in this district that are living in a state of poverty, that work 2, 3, or 4 jobs, that don't have sick and personal days, and would have to readjust schedules and potentially face lost wages in the event of a work stoppage. So I felt it was incumbent upon us to explore every possible opportunity to be able to keep schools open, at least for basic child care. Now, with that being said, we also have a responsibility to ensure that every single child and employee under our care walks into an environment that can guarantee their safety. And when we reviewed final absentee reports just this morning for all of our different employment groups and saw the thousands of employees that have called in for Thursday, we knew that there was no longer a guarantee that we had secured the appropriate amount of personnel necessary to guarantee safe supervision of kids for Thursday. So we made a call to close the schools of the Tucson Unified District.
At the state level, things are very uncertain right now. At the local level, is there anything that you can do to get qualified adults to be in the classroom, to be with these children, to stave off issues like you said, childcare, families who can't afford to be home with their kids?
We're in a very difficult situation, to understate it. I really believe in the power of the classroom teacher, and one of the variables that's not talked about is that at this time in the year, you in a sense have thousands of students that have bonded relationally to their teachers. We are in the final stretches of the school year. We have young people that have spent the last 8 or 9 months with their classroom teacher. They know how their classroom teacher thinks and feels and has read their moods and has bonded to them relationally as well as instructionally, that it would be incredibly difficult to ask a child to adjust to a whole new set of teachers with just weeks to go in the school year.
At the state level, we often hear that school boards, school districts could be doing more to put more money into teachers' pockets. Is that a fair assessment?
It's very difficult to put everything on local school boards, because if my allotment or my budget or the amount of funding that I've been given is, let's say, $100, and I have $100 to take care of 10 employees, it's easier for me to make sure everybody gets $10 per employee. But when you take that $100 and you say, now you get 80, now you get 70, now you get 50, make it work for your 10 employees, I think that's unfair. I think it's unfair to put that on the backs of our school boards, our hardworking school board members, and our administrators, and the superintendents of this state. And that's exactly what's been happening over the last 9 years, especially since 2009.
Are you concerned about the message that students and families are getting as a result of a walkout?
I'm concerned that that message could become a negative one the longer that the walkout continues. What I've seen with the general direction of the walk-ins that have been facilitated, the positive momentum that has been expressed to me, that I've seen with community members that I've met in the community, with people that have approached me in my travels throughout the district, is right on for the teachers. It's about time. I want somebody investing in my child. I'm afraid that that enthusiasm will turn into a different direction if we're looking at a long-term walkout that threatens graduation ceremonies and graduation requirements and the ability of our 8th graders to promote, the difficulty of promoting kindergartners to first. That will take a whole different direction from a family's perspective if we're looking at 1 week, 2 weeks, or even longer out.